We make all the components here.
This aerospace company builds parts for tomorrow's technology while making sure their employees' pasts never define their todays. We'll take you inside Pioneer Human Services, where second chances turn into careers and futures take flight.
Look at that.
They can't save a building from being torn down, but they can save its soul. The moldings, the fixtures, the woodwork. Meet the father and son team that rescues the craftsmanship of these old places, preserving history and keeping it out of landfills. Saving furniture from the dump. The Furniture Repair Bank gives old pieces new life, often for people building new lives of their own. These stories and more next on CityStream. Hello and welcome to CityStream. I'm Nicole Sanchez, coming to you from Seattle's Georgetown neighborhood. Wedged between I-5, Boeing Field, and the Duwamish, Georgetown is Seattle's oldest neighborhood. Most people know the Denny Party as the first non-native settlers, but the Collins Party was the first to establish permanent buildings and farms in the area. Over time, Georgetown grew into a hub for railroads, Boeing, and heavy industry. Today, it's still industrial, but it's also a center for the arts, great food, and home to one of the city's most unique landmarks. More on that later. This area of town is very industrial, and as you can hear, it can get a little noisy. Not far from here, Pioneer Industries is an award-winning parts manufacturer for the aerospace industry. But their biggest achievement may be how they're giving a second chance to some workers who really need it. Brian Callanan has their story.
We make all the components here.
Toele Mulitawa Opele is a big man with a big job.
Hank, what aircraft are we working on?
He's the production manager for Plant 2 at Pioneer Industries, a Seattle company that manufactures and assembles aerospace parts for commercial aircraft under his watchful eye. His memories of life before Pioneer are decades old.
I haven't had to say this story in 17 years.
But the pain is still very close to the surface.
Yep.
Mulitawa Opele had spent 3 years in prison on manslaughter charges before the University of Washington recruited him in 1996 to play football. But his hopes for a pro career came up short.
I got lost in the streets. I lost my chance to play ball. I lost my chance to do what I wanted to do in life. So I kind of got depressed. I was just lost in the streets. Didn't really think about a future.
Assault charges landed him in prison again. And when he got out, getting a job seemed impossible.
I was like, you can park your forklifts and never use them again. I'll lift everything in this building. I'm sorry, you got a felony. I was nervous. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do it until I came to Pioneer.
We're giving folks what you might call second chance employment opportunities.
Mike Hatzenbeeler is Chief Operating Officer of Pioneer Industries, which is the manufacturing arm of Pioneer Human Services, a nonprofit social enterprise organization.
Meaning we expect to both have an impact, but also to run every part of the organization in a way that is financially sustainable and as self-sufficient as we can be in generating our future for ourselves.
Pioneer's businesses include manufacturing, food services, and a warehouse distribution center, which provide funding for its 35 statewide programs for behavioral health, treatment, job skills training, and housing. Drill down on the numbers, and Pioneer reports 63% of its workforce has a conviction history and/or is recovering from a substance use disorder. Hatzenbeeler says Pioneer is working on a double bottom line, growing the business and working to break down the stigma surrounding people who've been involved in the criminal justice system.
Most people who are formerly incarcerated, they want to work, they're ready to work, they want that next chapter in their lives.
Studies show about 1 out of 3 adults in the U.S. has some sort of criminal record. That's about 77 million people, which may sound like a daunting number, but to Pioneer Industries, it sounds like an opportunity.
We have that resource of untapped talent that no other industry or company that's going into it. The weight on the rear end of the tankers.
Orlando Tantico is the business operations manager of Pioneer Industries, which is a premier bidder for Boeing, meaning tops in the commercial aerospace field for safety, quality, and delivery. But with Boeing dealing with major financial losses over the past few years, and with on-again, off-again tariffs affecting industries worldwide, Pioneer is focused on finding new partners. They're looking towards military defense, unmanned vehicles, space exploration, low-orbiting satellites, or anything that would require Pioneer's capacities like CNC, computerized numerical control, which automates machine tools to produce complex, high-precision parts.
And we want to get into the other sectors to utilize our skills, our capabilities of CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication, assembly. We have a lot to offer to other aerospace industries and defense.
And, Tantico points out, as Pioneer continues to grow its business, it'll grow its impact in the community as well.
That'll open up the doors for helping our mission, bringing people back, giving them that second chance into society, and giving them real good paying jobs.
So when I went to prison, I was ready for a change. My life had become very dysfunctional. I had become homeless.
Mary Jo Recton served 20 months behind bars on drug charges before coming to Pioneer, but has worked her way up to being an aerospace scheduler, making sure jobs are scheduled and completed on time.
Okay, so right there's a copy.
She says while prison ultimately helped her, that's not the case for everyone. And she says the work to build up people with criminal records is not easy.
Opportunity has to be there over and over again to allow somebody to walk into that at the right time, to be able to keep moving forward.
Is that start to finish?
Yeah.
But with almost a decade of experience at Pioneer, she's trying to serve as an example for other employees and anyone who'll listen to her story that people can close the book on shame and stigma and find a better life.
The things that I've gone through in my past, I can look at as the cornerstones of wisdom rather than something that's bringing me down.
We'll be okay for a while?
I know that I'm doing something that matters. I am helping to be a backbone for a bigger mission, something that's even more important than me.
One of the most intricate parts we build down here.
The same can be said for Mulitawa Opele, once lost with a challenging past, but now back with his family.
Right here.
And back to work, helping others discover a brighter future ahead.
Pioneer is the foundation for a lot of people's comeback story. We don't build aerospace parts. We build people who make aerospace parts. And I love being a part of that.
Pioneer Human Services helped nearly 9,500 people statewide last year with jobs, services, and housing, more than half of them in Western Washington. To learn more about this company, check out their website at pioneerhumanservices.org. You know the phrase, they don't make things like they used to? Well, these guys track down those little pieces that make a house feel like home. That story's next as CityStream continues.
We are the everyday storytellers of this great city. We are Seattle Channel, a gateway to everything Seattle. The intersection between government, culture, news, and the ever-unfolding story of the city we call home. So follow your curiosity and come explore Seattle with us. Seattle Channel, 2025 Northwest Regional Emmy recipient for overall excellence.
This is the pink salmon run there, about to head into the Duwamish River. This is kind of like the last part of the sea that they're gonna be in, and they are thick. There's like 2 different schools right now behind me, kind of just swirling around in this boat yard, I guess it is, and they're about to head into the river and start spawning.
I don't think you ever see this amount of fish go up river in the middle of a city.
Never seen so many people having so much fun.
Shoulder to shoulder, every day, all day. Every time the pinks are here, this is what it's gonna be like.
2 fish is the limit. So some years it's 4 fish limit. So you can get your 4 within 30 minutes and then be done for the day.
They are basically the easiest salmon to catch. Anybody can go out and catch them, and they're often really close to the shore. Because of how many people are here, there's people that need to work together to use nets and not cross over each other, all sorts of stuff. All you need is a rod and a pink lure, that's about it. Kind of just brings in everybody, like people just wanting to fill up the freezers and have food for their family, stuff like that. Anybody can do it. It's quite easy to do, you just gotta find the people. It definitely helps on the population of the fish and keeping it in check for everybody so that this can last for years on. It's a good atmosphere. It's a great time out here. I love being out here. Nothing better. This is the best time of year to be here if you're a salmon fisherman.
Here it is.
Good fish, man.
Yeah, that's a nice eating.
Welcome back to CityStream. One of the coolest things about so many of the businesses in this part of Georgetown are the original fixtures, wood and moldings, some dating back to the 1800s. They add a charm and character that's hard to find. Not far from here is a father and son business that makes sure details like these don't disappear. Earthwise Architectural Salvage rescues those funky, cool, one-of-a-kind features, saving them from the wrecking ball and the landfill.
Wander through the aisles of Earthwise Architectural Salvage in South Seattle, and you'll discover a treasure trove of design ideas and building materials. Walls of unhinged doors, floorboards stacked floor to ceiling, orphaned bathtubs, cabinets, and windows, even the occasional cowboy.
There's my long-lost cowboy from my wild summer in Jackson, Wyoming.
All waiting for new homes. These reusable materials are rescued from buildings that are being demolished, renovated, or dismantled. And Earthwise Salvage has been doing the job for decades.
My name is Kurt Petrauskas. I am the founder and owner of Earthwise Architectural Salvage. I was a general contractor, and I had a hard time throwing things away that were completely reusable. So I would salvage out all the materials from those projects and have yard sales on the weekends.
Before long, Earthwise became a brick and mortar store, and after stops at various locations in Seattle, they settled in at their current location on 4th Avenue South. The journey of architectural salvage begins with a walkthrough of the potential job site.
I always liked doing walkthroughs. And now that I'm semi-retired, I still love coming out to these sites. This is an old house. My favorite places, I love basements. Oh, crap. And I love attics. What will they think of next?
How did you get it into the truck? Isn't it too tall?
Kurt's son, Paul, is director of acquisitions.
What he does is go out and itemize everything in the house that has the possibility of reuse.
Then the salvage is scheduled and the work begins.
We're doing an interior salvage today. It's a 1908 house in North Seattle. Destined to be torn down, unfortunately, so we're here just pulling as much as we can out of it, save it from going to the landfill. But luckily, we got 3 nice unpainted doors that someone's gonna love. So this fireplace has got some pretty cool tile. It looks to be antique batch elder tile.
Look at that.
Wood and construction debris make up almost a quarter of the waste stream in Washington, around 1.2 million tons annually. The reuse of recycled building materials not only diverts that waste, but also conserves the energy and resources that would be used in manufacturing new materials.
So the thicker this top layer is, the better. It gives it more life to be reused later.
In Seattle, a salvage assessment is required where the work area is greater than 750 square feet or the total cost is greater than $75,000.
We get called in by contractors to do that. It's a no-cost type of thing. We go in, we'll identify the reusable aspects of it, and then we do all the reporting necessary to the city before the house gets demolished.
There wasn't really a whole lot here except for this awesome welded steel spiral staircase, so we're excited to get out of here. All right, set it down. Awesome.
In 2012, Earthwise expanded to Tacoma.
I love wood. Tacoma is located in an old mill, and we rented a spot in the mill and actually utilized the mill facilities to mill up boards and lumber, and we still do today. After Tacoma, we opened up an Aberdeen store, and then we've just recently opened our Kenmore location with the aid of a King County grant.
Shoppers at Earthwise can find wood for every kind of project.
You could take this apart, you could cut this down.
Like baseboards.
It's almost exact, which I couldn't find at another place.
Live edge slabs and fir flooring.
Most of the older houses in Seattle are made of fir flooring. Interestingly enough, fir flooring has always been one of our top things that we salvage.
I'm from Juneau, Alaska, and we have an old home up there, and I'm looking for some extra lumber, some extra tongue and groove flooring.
The thing I really enjoy the most is how we've made an impact. I always felt that for every 2x4 I kept out of the landfill and made available for reuse would be one less tree that would have to be harvested in the woods.
Customers at Earthwise also contribute to landfill diversion by giving the oddities, those hard-to-find pieces, and the reusable building materials a second chance. Sometimes they know exactly what they're looking for.
I am looking for glass panes and windows to make a greenhouse.
Others come in to browse and get inspired.
I love actually seeing light bulbs go off in their heads. I think that's a lot of fun. There is something for everyone here, absolutely.
In late 2025, Earthwise will open a salvaged lumber warehouse in Soto, serving as a collection point and retail center for reclaimed lumber. Partnering with the City of Seattle, this first-of-its-kind facility will help meet the growing demand for salvaged wood in the county. See what they might have for your next vintage project. Check out their website, ewsalvage.com. Just ahead, we'll show you folks giving that old piece of furniture a new life for families starting their own new chapter. Plus, we'll take a look at Georgetown's most iconic landmark, coming up. Welcome back. We're at the Hat and Boots in Oxbow Park. Originally located a few blocks away, it was a creative genius advertising idea for a gas station back in the 50s. Our own Ralph Bevins spent years following the rise and fall and rise of the Hat and Boots in a 2012 documentary. Here's a quick highlight.
The advertising boys said, "Lewis, make it really different."
Lewis Naismith, an artist.
I sat down at my drawing board and I drew a big giant hat on stilts.
Quick on the draw.
Immediately, I sketched a lady's boot and a man's boot right next to it.
In 1953, he's hired to rustle up a design for a Western-style gas station in Georgetown.
And I thought, boy, that's a lot of fun.
part of a fancy new shopping complex called Frontier Village.
And there was kind of silence. And I kind of looked at their faces and I said, well, I've gone too far, you know. And then finally it was a chorus of, wow, that's it, we'll build it, we'll build it.
And by doggies, they do.
They wanted to build it exactly like I had drawn it.
Up goes the office, a 44-foot wide cowboy hat. Then some restrooms, a pair of 22-foot high boots. And in 1954, the Hat and Boots Premium Tex gas station is kicking up some dust on East Marginal Way.
Immediately, people just went berserk.
Well, I don't reckon anyone's ever seen anything like this.
It was a thing where you'd come around a corner and be like, whoa, look at that. I mean, it's very cool looking.
The stampede to the Hat and Boots is on.
We put all the young men who were the service attendants in cowboy uniforms.
It was designed to get the little kids in the back seat to say, hey, Mom, Dad, come on, let's go and go in the Hat and Boots.
And for a while, more wagons are pumped full of lead here than at any other station in the state. Legend has it, even Elvis salters over for a fill-up when he's in town for that big Seattle shindig of '62.
They did attract a lot of people off of Old Highway 99 before the interstate came in.
Interstate 5, a new trail blazing like wildfire through Seattle. And before long, it's siphoning traffic and the life out of the poor old Hat and Boots. From icon to eyesore. In 1988, the Hat and Boots bites the dust.
If you'd like to watch the entire Hat and Boots story, you can find it on either our Seattle Channel homepage or on YouTube. Just search Seattle Channel Hat and Boots. Or if you want to hang out with some oversized cowboy clothes in person, Oxbow Park is located at 6430 Corson Avenue South in Seattle. Speaking of restorations, the Furniture Repair Bank is a nonprofit that takes worn and damaged items and restores, repairs, and reupholsters them. Then the bank delivers the furniture to people in need. Many are refugees or people rebuilding after experiencing homelessness. These simple comforts often add dignity and hope to a fresh start. Producer Chris Barnes has more.
Furniture Repair Bank is so many different things. We work as a furniture bank, but we focus on repair. All the items that come in, we restore them, reupholster, restain, repaint, and then all that we do then goes to families in need. And also like for machine stitching, that will keep it together where it should be together. Zero Waste Washington is a statewide nonprofit. We're mainly a policy shop. We help pass laws, but we also run and pilot different community-based programs, and we also do research. So Furniture Repair Bank started as a program of Zero Waste Washington. We learned that furniture is somewhat overseen, so we started piloting and seeing what can be done with furniture, and that grew into its own thing. Everything that we receive comes from individuals. People find us on Facebook groups, so Google search, friends of friends. So just individual people who try to do something better with their items rather than just send it to the landfill.
One of the pillars of Furniture Repair Bank is reducing waste and promoting sustainability. We hate to see so much furniture going into landfills every day when it still has many years of life left in it. All it needs is sanded down and painted, or stained, or maybe reupholstered. The volunteers are great. They're very interested in learning the new skills. They're all very eager to learn. Occasionally we'll get volunteers that are skilled, and so we sometimes do have some pieces in here that are a bit more damaged than average, and so it's great to have them on hand as well.
I just enjoy the work, so to me there's a benefit to me personally, because coming in and putting something back together and being able to walk away knowing that something that was broken before is now usable is rewarding to me.
Got it. Okay, so the seam would go all the way in.
It's so neat to see that what you're doing with these chairs and these furnitures can really help transform the lives of others. You don't need to come with any skills. They teach you everything you need to know, have all the tools and supplies, and you walk away with an impact you're making and some new skills.
We work with multiple partner agencies that support people in need. They're refugee resettlement agencies, shelters that help people getting out of homelessness. So we work with those groups, and they know the people that need the help and tell us what they need, and we put together the sets of furniture for them.
No, there's no twin beds. They're both queen-size beds. You can do one step at a time if you need to. Hold on. All right. Whew.
Yes. So we've been without furniture for about 6 months now. Without finding that furniture bank, we would not have been able to find any furniture anytime soon. So this is the sofa that they bought for us. This was really nicely refurbished. But this part actually matches with this little centerpiece table set right here because it blends in with the color very nicely. And I really like this one because of how they painted it. So it really feels like a set together. Being able to finally wake up and come into the living room and see that we have furniture makes it feel like we finally are home after living here for 6 months already.
First, it all started as an idea, as something that, let's see if that's viable. Let's see what we can do with that. But I think what keeps me going is people. No single person can create anything by themselves. Furniture Repair Bank's mission is to create community of mighty individuals. And I think that's the core of what we do. People that learn the skill together, try to build something together and make a change and support others on the way.
Furniture Repair Bank also offers furniture repair classes, as well as opportunities to volunteer and donate your once loved items. For more information, go to their webpage, repairbank.org. That wraps up this edition of CityStream from the Georgetown neighborhood. If you'd like to learn more about the fun things to do here, visit their website. It's georgetownseattle.org. And if you'd like to watch more award-winning Seattle Channel programs, visit our website, seattlechannel.org, and search feature shows. I'm Nicole Sanchez. Thanks for watching.